Hi. So I'm Collin Jackson from Apportable, and we make it possible to build beautiful Android apps in Objective-C. So I'm kind of curious, out of this audience, how many of you have an Android phone? That's pretty good. How about an iPhone? So I'm seeing almost equal numbers there. I think if I had asked the audience 2 years ago, it would have been all iPhones in San Francisco. So Android's actually made pretty good traction here. Around the rest of the world, Android is just absolutely taking off. And over 80% of mobile devices that are out there right now are running Android. But it's a pretty well-known fact that most developers, particularly in the West, who are developing apps, prefer to develop natively on iOS. And if any of you are building startups or investing in startups, there's a pretty good chance that the initial prototype will be developed natively for the iPhone. And there's a lot of good reasons for that. Objective-C is a great language for building mobile apps. It has great battery life. It allows you to avoid the performance overhead of garbage collection. And Apple has developed some really great APIs for building mobile apps. So that's where the Apportable compiler comes in. You can develop your app natively on iOS, and then you can use the Apportable compiler to cross-compile that source code to run natively on Android. So you develop simultaneously on both platforms and maintain feature parity across both iOS and Android. So this is a compiler. It's not a source code translator. It's not some intermediate language that you develop your app in. You actually build in Objective-C using the exact same compiler that Apple uses to compile iOS apps. And that means that there's nothing between you and the bare metal of the ARM or Intel processor. And if you were to build the app in Java using the Android SDK, you would end up with a slower app in the end, because you'd have to deal with the runtime of Android in the garbage collection. So that's the advantage of using the Apportable compiler. And we've tested the Apportable compiler on over 3,000 devices in the wild. We have our own test lab of 200 devices, and included a number of debugging and optimization tools to make it really easy to build high-quality high-performance apps in Objective-C on Android. And you can build them without ever leaving the comfort of Apple's native Mac development tools. You can build your app in Xcode. You can use any of the open source Objective-C game engines that are out there, and the app will run beautifully on Android devices. So the market size for cross-platform mobile developer tools is enormous. Everyone knows that they need to make a cross-platform app, and being able to maintain a single code base is an enormous advantage to developers of all types. That's the market that we're going after. And I'll tell you about one of our customers. How many of you have played the game Dots? Any Dots fans here? Dots is a wildly popular mobile game that it's quite simple aesthetic. I think it was a little bit ahead of its time, actually. It looks, the iOS 7 kind of reminds me of Dots. But Dots was built natively in iOS. When it launched on Android, it quickly became the #5 top app, beating out Facebook and Skype and all sorts of other Android apps. It got over 1 million downloads in the first week, and the Dots team has been adding features to the app and updating it on both platforms. And what's great is that the updates are actually coming out faster on Android than they are on iOS, because they don't have to go through the same Apple approval process. So if you went to the Aruba booth, you know that they're 10x faster, but in some sense, the porting it's infinity times faster than manually porting it, because it comes out first on Android. So there's a community of over 5,000 developers that are using the Apportable SDK to build apps, and they're using it for games and music apps and photo sharing. You can download the SDK for free at apportable.com, and we also have an enterprise version that large game studios use. This is our team. We have about 50 people, and we're hiring, so If you'd like to join either as a developer or in any other position, let us know, and I'll take your questions.
Very cool. On time. Hands up. Is that a question or are you dancing? Yay. That's.
I got one fan in the audience. Yeah.
So how do you make money?
How do we make money? So there's a version for free, and then if you want more performance, more features, and a dedicated support team, you can upgrade to the paid version. Yeah.
Is it working with every version of Android?
Yeah, so we support Android all the way back to Android 2.2 Froyo. So that covers 99% of Android devices that are out there. And we support most iOS features up through iOS 7. So we have Sprite Kit and some of the new stuff in iOS 7.
I'm looking for questions. I'm taking collections too. I'm giving away candy.
Oh, well. So I heard MapKit isn't supported. When will it be supported? MapKit in iOS?
MapKit is currently not supported, but it is on our roadmap. So keep an eye out for a new release. Most of our customers, I should say, are game developers, but we've also seen it used for other types of apps.
Any support from carriers?
Works with all carriers, to my knowledge. Yeah.
Or any, any interest in setting up like an OEM agreement or something like that with?
Yeah. So
some
we
of them?
work with OEMs, partners. We have a very close relationship with Apple and Google. So you can be pretty sure that you'll get featured by any carrier that cares to feature apps.
And you mentioned you guys were hiring.
Yes. We're mostly hiring for developers. If you love Objective-C, you will feel very at home at Apportable, despite the fact that we are making Android apps work.
So what kind of apps are not good candidates for it? Where does it not work?
So there are certain iOS APIs that we either haven't gotten around implementing yet because they're kind of obscure, or they are very hard for us to do, or they are Apple specific and wouldn't make sense on Android. But the API coverage is improving every day.
Do you have examples?
So for example, the iAd framework that you can use to make ads on iOS doesn't work, but we have a number of other ad frameworks that do, so you can just choose a different one.
Okay, anybody else? Brittany, softball question? No?
All right, thanks.
Excellent, Apportive.